There is no question that the priest, wearing the military uniform, an officer's uniform no less, and that position carries with it a conflict of interest. The military chaplaincy is a major spiritual and moral problem in the church. The big untruth of Christianity, Catholicism, Orthodoxy, Protestantism, evangelicals, and that untruth is that one can move logically from the teaching of Jesus to participating in the activities of war, killing, maiming, murder, deceit, etc. It can't be done. There is no logical way for moving from the teachings of Jesus to what the church has called the just war theory.
How can a Catholic priest serve in an institution like the military that sanctions war and killing? I don't think they should be serving in the military. I don't think they should be getting a paycheck from the military.
We're going to use the Chaplains.
We do understand that while God would never desire a war to be fought, sometimes what is good, what is true, what is beautiful requires us to defend it. And for the men and women who have decided to make that sacrifice, very often they're the ones that are in most need of pastoral care because they've had to make hard decisions that require them to defend what's true and good and beautiful. So the chaplain's there to always be there for their soul, for their spirit, and to provide the care and comfort that they very often need.
I'm all in favor of giving people the sacraments under any circumstance, but you also have to say that you cannot kill another member of the body of Christ. Can't do it.
It is in this place where chaplains are most needed. In the midst of violence and war and chaos, there is one person in the unit, one person in the organization who represents God's peace. I think that's why it's so important. I think the other reason is that chaplains can help in those situations serve as a moral barometer of sorts. And so it's necessary for chaplains to serve in the armed forces precisely because of that. Our commanders do need that guidance. Our soldiers do need that moral guidance.
If they weren't part of the structure, they would have no access to the commanders at all. They wouldn't even be able to raise a moral question because they'd have no contact. The fact that priests are embedded in the military allows them to make a difference at the highest level.
My primary vocation, even before being ordained, has been to call the churches back to following what is there in the gospel, Jesus' teachings of nonviolent love of friends and enemies.
The large part of my effectiveness comes because I live the life of the people that I serve. Those hardships that men and women endure in combat, I endure in combat. If I'm sleeping on the ground, if I'm being shot at, if I'm scared, if we are going through severe situations, I'm living that same life. That's a sense of hope, just as it would be with anyone who can identify with someone else because they've chosen to live that same lifestyle. That gains me entrance into people's lives that can't be accomplished simply because you're a clergy person.
To our hearts,
the church exists to save souls. The last canon of canon law reads, "The supreme law of the church is the salvation of souls." Nothing is more important than that. What is being communicated by the larger church, which its use of a just war theory, not dogma, and by the military chaplaincy is that going out, putting a bayonet in someone's kidney, slitting someone's throat, burning someone's face off with a flamethrower is the way to be saved, is the way to eternal salvation. That is an outright lie. That is utterly logically inconsistent with anything Jesus ever taught or could have taught. Therefore, the military chaplaincy, from that perspective, is a major, major problem, the only solution of which is to eliminate it.
I don't think that means that we abdicate the responsibility of leaving good Catholics with no recourse, with no opportunity to celebrate the sacraments, with no one encouraging them to lead a moral life and to examine their actions. If we pull out from all contact with the military, I think we're a little bit like Pontius Pilate, who washes his hands in the face of evil.